I'll show you how to use Claude Code for free with powerful AI models. How? Well, Claude Code isn't magic. It's just Anthropic's harness. It's a wrapper designed to sell you expensive Opus and Sonnet tokens. But what if you can use that same harness to run models that are just as smart, way faster, and completely free? I'll show you 3 different ways to do this so that even if one door closes, you still have 2 more options. Okay, let's get started. First, I'll show you an easy way for how to set up Claude Code using Minimax and 2.5. This model is comparable to Opus 4.6, especially in coding tasks. It's also much faster and, of course, cheaper, and in this case, free, because we're going to use OpenCode's API and their free allowance. Now, you can see that Opus is slightly better in some benchmarks, but this is free, so what do you have to lose? So first, let's go ahead and install Claude Code. You can, of course, copy the command here, or if you're on Windows or another platform, you can go to the documentation and copy the Windows command. So I'm on Mac, so I'm going to open Terminal, and I'll paste the command in. If you're on Windows, you can open PowerShell and copy this command. You can see that it's setting up Claude Code. When it's done, you can just run Claude to make sure it works. So you can see that it's working and it's trying to access my current workspace. I'll just exit for now so that now we can set up the Minimax model. To do this, go to the OpenCode website, go to Zen, and then click Get Started. Here I'm going to sign in with my Google account. And then once you're in Zen, the really important thing here is to make sure you don't enable billing. Here you can see that there's a list of models, including Minimax and 2.5 free. You can also use DeepSeek as well as Nemotron. But if you look at the comparison for the 3 benchmarks, you can see here that Minimax is the one that comes closest to Opus. So we're going to use Minimax. Now that you're logged in here, go to your API keys section, and here you can copy the API key or you can create a new one. And then you can go ahead and click that little icon here to copy it. If you've seen other tutorials, they'll tell you to set up a settings file, and then you'll try to use Claude Code and set the model. But then once you try to actually use it, you won't be able to without logging in. And then if you try to log in, it'll tell you you need a subscription to use it. So let's get around that by using this GitHub for free Claude Code. There's some installation instructions here. We've already installed Claude Code, so we don't need that. Let's make sure we have Python and UV installed, so you can just copy paste these commands here. If you're on Windows, again, copy paste these commands. So it's done. It then tells you to get an NVIDIA NIM key. You don't need to do this step yet. If you do want to see how to do this, I'll show you this as a bonus at the end. Then let's install the proxy. So it's installed, and then you can run this by this command. And here it's going to give you the URLs for the server. So go ahead and copy the admin UI, and let's open it. Here you can configure multiple different providers. One of them you can see is OpenCode Zen, and it's missing a key. So we're going to take that key that we got, we'll paste in that key here, and apply the change. And then now we can refresh models here, and you can see that it has those free models that we selected. Now it shows up as configured. The next step is to set the model. Go into the model section here, and the default model here, we can go ahead and use OpenCode. So let's go ahead and type in OpenCode, and then we're going to use Minimax 2.5 free as our default model. Apply that. Now that we have our API key configured, as well as our model set up, we can go ahead and run this proxy. So to do that, the command is FCC-Claude, and I'm just going to open my terminal window, and in a new window, I'm going to type in FCC-Claude. That should run Claude Code for me. So let's get started using the recommended settings. Okay, and once you're here, you can type in /model, and here you can see we have the OpenCode Minimax available. So we're going to set that. And now I'm going to ask it, what model am I using? And here we go. We're using the Minimax M2.5 free. Great. Can you tell me the command for renewing my DNS cache? And there we go. It's working as expected. Now that that's working, we can also set up the VS Code extension. So to do that, we can search for Claude Code environment variables in the settings. So go into your VS Code, settings, search for that, and then we can edit that in settings.json. Here, we're just going to come to the end and copy paste these and save it and close out of here. Now I'm just going to restart my VS Code. Go ahead and open the Claude Code extension. And if I look into my commands, I can see that it's running OpenCode Minimax 2.5 free. Now we're set up for both terminal as well as VS Code. So great. We now have free-claude-code running and it works. So far, this has been a great way to get a lot of usage from OpenCode Zen. But if this ever goes down, I want to show you those two other backups that you can use to run this. The first method is OpenRouter. OpenRouter quite often has a lot of free models available, and you can just search for them. This includes the same Minimax model that we looked at, as well as other GLM and GPT models. So to use this, you'll need to sign up for OpenRouter. After you've signed up, you can go to your workspace, and here you can find API keys, create a new one. And then once you have this, you can paste in this OpenRouter API key here, apply, and here you can see OpenRouter is configured, and then you can find all the models that are available through OpenRouter as well. And then the last but not the least, you can also use NVIDIA NIM. This is NVIDIA's platform that provides a lot of different free models like GLM, DeepSeek, Nemotron, Gemma, as well as a range of different models that you can choose from. The only problem with this is now it's a little bit slow to run, so you might want to use this more as a backup than a primary thing. And again, you can sign up for your account. You can come back in here, then paste in your API key here, and then that way you have a second backup to run Claude Code for free. There you have it. You now have 3 different options for running Claude Code for free, and that way you don't really have to pay for any of their Pro or Max plans, saving you about $17 to $20 a month. If this helped, hit a like and let me know in the comments if this worked for you. See you later.